Perhaps the biggest update of all time is coming to Final Fantasy, specifically the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV. Individuals who have stayed away from Final Fantasy XIV due to its multiplayer nature will finally get a way to enjoy the story content in a true single-player fashion. And not only that, but a massive graphical overhaul is coming to the game, which is much needed because it still retains a lot of that PlayStation 3 style graphics that many don't enjoy. So many news to talk about, so let's break it down and get right into it. What's up guys, BltzZ here today bringing you another video. I've been a long-time player and fan of Final Fantasy XIV, and to see how bright the future still remains going forward for it really brings a smile to my face. Some amazing things are coming soon that will forever shift the way Final Fantasy XIV plays, looks, and is enjoyed. For one thing, long-time needed graphical updates are coming and finally are underway to being rolled out. The live letter last night revealed that character models and proper shading will be executed, and they gave us early looks at how they will look. It's something amazing in comparison to what it was before. It's going to take some time for them to get all the graphics updated, so it will be rolled out slowly, prioritizing major NPC characters and various regions within the game, because yes, even the environments are being retouched and it looks pretty damn good. This actually makes me laugh because for a while now I've been using G-Shade and various community mods to improve the graphical look for the game. I was actually planning to release a video on how you guys can install them as well and get your game to look like mine does here. From this to this. Seeing as now this update won't fully be out as soon as possible, there's still an opportunity to get this information out for you guys, so let me know in the comments below if you'd love a tutorial video on what mods I use and break down how you go about installing them for yourselves. Seriously, Final Fantasy XIV looks great, but it does lack a lot in areas. These updates coming to the game are much needed to breathe life into earlier environments, and also will play a major factor for the future of Final Fantasy XIV as we love it. Many people often write this game off early on because of how the dated models and scenes look in A Realm Reborn, and I can't blame them to be honest. But I'm excited to go back through it myself as well once these updates start rolling out. These graphic changes aren't going to be anything crazy like Final Fantasy VII Remake or Horizon Forbidden West, as Yoshi P himself stated, but the changes will overall bring a better design look that many can enjoy. PlayStation 4 support will continue, and these changes to the graphics will not affect that for the time being. Now, in regards to perhaps the biggest change for Final Fantasy XIV, which I believe will be massive with increasing its player base even further, is hitting that subscribe button, because only 30.4% of people who watch and love these videos are currently subscribed. Finally, we are getting some cool, awesome changes to Final Fantasy XIV, and I'm glad to soon start streaming Endwalker for you all. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so we can get the bar's numbers up and so that you don't miss out on any news that is Final Fantasy related. Now back into the video. But seriously, the biggest change for me in Final Fantasy XIV that's coming soon are updates to the fan favorite Trust system. Trust was introduced in Shadowbringers. It allows you to bring party member NPCs from the main story, characters we all know and love, into dungeons with you to tackle instances and the story progression. But it was limited to only Shadowbringers and new to Endwalker content. Many Final Fantasy fans shy away from Final Fantasy XIV due to the multiplayer aspect and having to depend on others, which I can understand as many Final Fantasy fans choose to experience the story on their own at their own pace. You know, as the series has always been a single player focused story. Yoshi P himself mentioned that he's always heard that many fans haven't experienced Final Fantasy XI and XIV because of this. But going forward, they're working to implement the Trust system into all of Final Fantasy XIV. Finally. No, seriously, I thought the Trust system was an amazing implementation because sometimes trying to do some dungeons or instances, queue times can be pretty long. But with this, it's an instant queue, essentially seamlessly being like an offline single-player story event. And going forward, they're working to implement the Trust system into all of Final Fantasy XIV. Finally, with patch 6.1 doing all of A Realm Reborn's content, and future patches extending this feature to other expansions. Heaven's Ward, they are aiming for patch 6.3, and Stormblood will be somewhere within patches 6.4 and 6.5. It's a process that will take some time because of how much goes into this stuff, and also unfortunately for now, it will only be implemented for 4-player content and duties. They did say they hope to implement this for larger group 8-player parties and content for 7.0 and after, I mean, this is absolutely huge because now players can enjoy a true single-player experience without having to go online and depend on others or get a little bit nervous, because I get it. It can be a little intimidating, the whole online environment. I've always loved the trust system because it's just a fun way to learn mechanics, since teammates are super intelligent and borderline broken when it comes to not getting hit or standing in the fire. But not only that, the character interactions are golden in the event tab. To me, it's amazing when you get extra dialogue and you see these wonderful characters interact with each other. Seriously, go through Shadowbringers and Endwalker and choose various different party members that you can and see how their dialogues line up and what different things they talk about. It's pretty cool. A lot of people write off Final Fantasy XIV because of its multiplayer nature. So it's great to see that their main focus are to set up an environment where more people can enjoy this game by themselves in a true single-player fashion. And in great news, February 22nd is when the free trial is resuming, and where you can play all the way up to Heavensward for free. Of course, with an MMO, there's still going to be that monthly subscription fee. It's a regular thing within MMOs to help them receive the funds to do amazing updates and patches like we're getting every few months or so. Guys, they are reinvesting into Final Fantasy XIV and making it an experience for everyone to enjoy, borderline the ultimate experience. The next live letter is going to be March 4th, which will showcase the first bits of changes coming in patch 6.1 for Endwalker, and I definitely will be giving you guys an update on all of that. What are you most excited for with Final Fantasy XIV? Are you also looking forward to solo content being a little bit more accessible, or just in general the graphical overhaul? And also, let me know in the comments if you're interested in the graphical mod video. I can't wait for them to be fully implemented, and to hold you guys over for the time being, I could make that video and hook you all up with some much needed graphical improvements that will take some time to come out, but you can have some of it that was obviously community created right now. I mean, they got hair mod textures currently out on Nexus, and right now with G-Shade, we can colorize the game and improve even the most dullest of areas. I'm grateful to see that they're not only going to be redoing the character models, but also improving the colors, foliage, and vibrancy of the world, because I'm not gonna lie, after G-Shade, I can never go back to how vanilla looks. And thankfully, with these updates coming soon, you all won't have to worry about it for too much longer either. This is not all that they talked about, of course. There are way more things coming to the game, such as more side quests, more character storylines, and additional content, such as changing the Praetorium to a 4-player instance. But I felt that these changes regarding the trust system and graphical overhaul were the most important to talk about for now. I will be linking below a breakdown of everything that they talked about so you guys can check out for yourselves. Just be warned, the quest updates may contain spoilers, so if you're not all caught up, remember to check at your own risk. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy updates are coming your way and you won't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ and thanks for watching.